like where I feel like
months old. The reason why Chris runs, that's what it says on his t-shirt, has some catching up to do, as Dvorak in the first round of the long jump shows why he's the world record holder. He stretches it out very close to that 8-meter mark, 26 feet 3 inches, a personal best for Dvorak, 26.2 on his very first jump. He's just in the zone. Huffins, after a very poor first attempt where he didn't even touch the board, sprints down the runway for number 2. A good shot on the board, and out to 25 feet 2 inches for Huffins. Sort of a mediocre distance for Huffins, but he'll take it. After 2 events, he's 39 down to Dvorak. Dvorak slightly behind his world record pace. On to event number 3, the shot put. An event where Huffins has gotten better and better. A spinner. This is his second round throw. He dumped one on his first throw, but here he finally gets a smile on his face. 51 feet 5 inches for Huffins. But on his third and final throw, the world record holder steps into the ring. He uses the old glide style, the O'Brien technique. He gets everything behind it, out close to a personal best. 54.1 Just another day at the office for Dvorak. And he extends his lead to 90 points over Huffins. But Huffins easily in second place by 112 over his Estonian rival. The fourth event, the high jump, an event where Huffins should really put in some distance between himself and Dvorak. He's a 7.1 high jumper. In fact, he has a high jump coach for his decathlon coach. 6.6 on the first attempt with a little brush. Dvorak, not a good high jumper. His personal best is 6.8 This his second attempt at 6.6 and easily over for the world record holder. Huffins passes at 6 feet 8 inches. Dvorak up for his third and final attempt at that height. He decided to take this attempt during the victory ceremony for the Spanish long jump champion on the women's side, and Dvorak misses barely on his third attempt. So Huffins had a great chance to put some points between himself and Dvorak, but then he misses. So they end up with the exact same height, and that means that the distance between them after 4 events remains 90 points. Huffins just having trouble with the run up here, not getting in position. That was a real opportunity lost. He might be able to look back to that as the reason why he isn't on the podium tomorrow, if that's the way it turns out. Dvorak now 90 points ahead. Macy of Great Britain coming out of nowhere.
And so the 5th and final event on the first day of the decathlon, as Chris Huffins settles into lane number 6. And a bit of a disadvantage here because no one in lane 7.
That's right, Tom. It was supposed to be Frank Busman of Germany out in lane 7. He withdrew after the long jump, so Chris will be running blind for those first 300 meters because he's in the outside-most lane in this heat.
Huffins, as he got ready for his race, had a t-shirt with his son Zachary's picture on it, 2 months old. Underneath it said, "Why I Run," and he needs a good run, Dwight, to stay in the hunt for a medal.
He really does, Tom. This has been somewhat of a disappointing first day for Chris. He's such a good sprinter, so you expect that to carry over to the long jump and here into the 400 meters. But he just has been a little off, a little flat. I spoke with his wife, Monique, and she says he's okay, but he just needs to pump it up. You'd have to expect that he would be right there with Tomas Dvorak, the world record holder, at the end of the first day, and then really have to turn in a good second day. He's pumping well in here, but Seville down there, the Czech Republic, is beating him down the stretch.
And so has Bennett, the Spaniard. Huffins, whose personal record is 48.05 in the 400, struggling home and crossing the finish line, and apparently worn out after this first day. Unofficially his time 49 flat.
Not a terrible time for him, and the end of a very long day for Huffins.
The moonlight lighting the efforts of some of the world's best track and field athletes as night falls in Seville. And after the first day of the decathlon, Tomas Dvorak of the Czech Republic leads with Chris Huffins in 3rd place. And when we